Hey guys, welcome back to Defeating Hair Loss. My name is Steve, and I'm here back with Bobby D.
Yes, sir.
My good friend now, and he's a patient. He's an excellent model, as you are, having a good hair day.
Appreciate it.
You know, I like to talk to patients about what I call my Steve cheat sheet checklist. So before I get into it, we always talk like off the cuff, right? So, I know that we had spoke when you were researching this, you were looking around at some few different surgeons, and you're obviously a very intelligent young man, know how to use Google.
Yeah.
So just at the top of your head, like what was one of the things that impressed you so much with your surgeon?
Yeah, look at Dr. McGrath online, just, seeing the results of other patients and how good their hair looked, and that's what sold me.
So just for those out there that are watching, this is not a promoting Dr. McGrath video. We don't do that because we don't want it to look like an advertising thing. Yeah. But he did my hairline, he did your hairline, did a heck of a job. The reason why we want to talk about what was in Bobby's head, no pun intended, at the time, is because that's what all of you out there might be asking. What are the questions I should ask? What should we talk about? And where should I go? So here's my Steve's cheat sheet checklist. Number one, make sure your doctor, just to kind of even the playing field, is board certified. I mean, you're going to have doctors out there that you're going to talk to, may or may not, that are going to say, oh, that's nothing, board certification, that's just, they have to go through some test or something. Well, yeah, I mean, we need to hold these doctors accountable for walking away from a lot of business. And why I say that's so important is one of my biggest beasts with this industry through the years is I believe a lot of these doctors are doing surgery on the wrong patients. That's why a lot of the top doctors are going to put you on that medication for 6 months before they consider you an applicable candidate. And that's just how that works. And to me, that means a lot. So you also, on number two, you want to make sure the doctor has plenty of examples, and that's what you had talked about. You want to see two-dimensional, that's your photos on the website. I mean, everybody's got the website. How long you've been doing this, doc? Can you show me some examples of guys like me with my type of hair? And then, of course, like today, it's all about the videos as well. I love your 12-month video that you shot with Dr. McGrath for your second procedure. The comb through is incredible. And I'm sitting there looking at it and I'm like, I talk to you all the time, and I'm looking at it on video, I'm like, man, it's really good.
Yeah, he did a great
job.
And
I mean, yeah, it's insane. So to me, as a young patient, if I were young again, and I'm looking and I want to see those comb throughs, you can freeze that screen on that video and you can look at the spacing of those grafts. Now that happens to be the second procedure, but I believe there's also a video on Dr. McGrath's website about for you that shows just one procedure. Now, the third thing that I'll point out to you is make sure that your clinic that you're looking at does both FUE and FUT. Now, here's why. I'm not telling you have to go to that clinic or you have to go to a clinic that does both FUE and FUT, but cheat the system a little bit. Grab a doctor, a clinic, some education of a clinic that does both FUE and FUT so that there's no bias in which one you should do. You can choose the clinic that does both FUE and FUT and then find someone else that does perfect FUE if that's what that original clinic told you. I think I kind of got a little lost there with explaining that, but you see my point. You want to have an unbiased opinion. If you go to a clinic that only does FUE, guess what? It's going to be FUE. That's what they're going to push you. If you go to a clinic that only does FUT, they're going to say FUE is a scam and they're going to try to push you. So look out for yourself, okay? Number four, this is kind of hard to really kind of think about, or I should say like analyze, because it's hard to kind of like interview all the staff when you walk into a clinic. But you can tell these mom and pops who's there all the time, make a couple visits, and you'll see that the doctors that do this for a living, they're called specialists. They're board certified. They're proud of their work. They display that work. They've got a staff that's also very proud of that work. They're a huge part of this procedure. It's very labor intensive. You walk into these top clinics, they've lined up with microscopes to make sure that your grafts are cut perfectly. That's for me. I'm a technology guy, you're a technology guy. It's all about state of the art. So make sure you're asking the right questions. Say, hey, do you guys do this full time? And if you do, is your staff full time? Because that means that clinic's busy, but number five is they're not too busy where they're doing so many cases and you're just a number. So I've always aligned myself with the better clinics that do maximum of 2 surgeries a day. Now, Dr. McGrath did my hair, he did Bobby's hair. He does, I've talked to him, and this has been pretty constant, about 1.2 surgeries a day. Now what that means is, because that makes no sense, what that means is he's doing 2 surgeries on like a Tuesday, and then he's doing 1 surgery on a Wednesday and Thursday and 2 on a Friday, or whatever that adds up to. But for that year, there's only a certain amount of surgeries. I used to scare people. I guess I'll pat myself on the back for once. They used to say, man, watch out for that guy because he's very kind of passionate and he wants everybody to get a hair transplant. Yeah, when I was younger, I'm like, gotta get a hair transplant. Now it's like, no, we don't want you to get a hair transplant. Well, of course we want you to get a hair transplant to make you happy. But I used to scare clinics and doctors because they used to tell me, don't overwork your doctor, don't burn out your doctor, and don't burn out your staff. So it's a balance. It's a balance. These doctors do very well. They're very well off and the staff gets paid very well. You want to find a clinic that's in a good comfort zone, that works together at all times, so that way they're not kind of out of sync. Because, you know, we're all kind of crazy out there when it comes to our hair. We want to make sure nobody's dropping the ball when it comes to our grafts. How's that, Bobby?
Sounds good.
I think it makes sense. So don't forget the Steve cheat sheet checklist. It's hard to say 10 times. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.